This, ladies and gentlemen, is one of the greatest stories of all times. It is. Remember the story for the rest of your life. Tell it to your kids. Have them tell it to their kids' kids. This involves some of the greatest characters of my life, and it's got Philly Gumbo in it. Oh, Philly Gumbo. And of course, it's got Billy Biscuit Lips in it. How can you leave out Billy Biscuit Lips? I mean, it's got Schnepp Doggy Dog. It's got a whole litany of characters. Squac is in it. Disco Dan Hinton. My God, the whole crew acted up this night. Back in the day, uh, this is back in 2004, probably 12 years ago or so. We used to play poker quite often over at a buddy of ours' house, Schnepp Doggy Dogs. And it was a whole array of people. Sometimes we'd have 20 people there, 3 tables of people playing cards. And one evening, in walks Philly Gumbo, man, and he is a wreck of the highest order. Listen, folks, I have been drunk and fucked up with my good friend Philly the Gumbo. Conservative estimate, 1,500 times in our lives, at least. At least. I mean, I went to grade school, high school, and college with this guy, and I've done stuff with him for the rest of my life, and I'm 44. And old Philly walks into this poker game, and it's the most fucked up I've ever seen him before or after. So this is a rare evening. We're sitting at one of the tables playing Texas Hold'em, and Philly there was a number of rules there, and one of the things was, people are there drinking, some people are there smoking some weed, some people are doing this, some people are doing that. Now listen, there's prosecutors there, there's cops there, there's attorneys there, there's drug dealers there. This is just people that all grew up together, that hung out together and didn't hold any biases towards each other. But we had, listen, you just don't come in, and if you're going to smoke a joint, you went outside, you respected other people, right? So that's how the rules were. Well, Philly throws this bag down on the table, huge bag of weed, and everybody's like, whoa, whoa, easy, killer, come on, let's show somebody. He's like, fuck you, I'll do what I want, bye. Everybody's like, what is wrong with you tonight? So he's laughing, he's being very physically aggressive this night, he's slapping everybody around, just not his normal self. And he rolls up a huge joint, puts 2 papers together, rolls it. Everybody's like, come on, man, take it outside, at least do that. So finally we drag him outside. He's outside, he's talking more shit than I've ever heard him talk, ever. But all about himself, which he normally doesn't do. He was being a big braggart that night and boisterous and thumping his chest and saying how great he was. No, seriously, he was out of character, acting crazy. So we go back in, sitting around drinking, cards get dealt. So Philly, he hops up and he comes down to Schnepper and out of the blue just hits him. I mean hard. Open-handed, but not a closed fist, but an open-handed smack. And I mean, it hurt. I mean, I could tell from the look in Schnepper's eye, not only did it hurt, but it hurt his feelings, man. He was like, what the fuck, man? So Schnepper gets up and they're face to face, and I want to say they shoved each other in the face, or maybe, well, Schnepper or Philly it was a crazy night, but they at least got chest to chest and nose to nose and were shoving each other around after that. And we were like, we got to get Philly out of here. This is getting crazy. He's out of control tonight. So the next hand, I went all in on something that was just a loser. Lost, went out. And I was like, come on, Philly, I'm taking him. So when I left and Philly left the game, that started kind of a problem. Because I'd gone in, all in, and somebody had won all my money, which kind of pissed everybody else off because, I just went in all in to take Philly. Well, then Philly's money was still there, so then they distributed it out, and apparently that caused problems later. So I take Philly. I'm like, where in the hell am I going to drag Philly Gumbo to? I mean, he's a fucking wreck. So I'm like, I'm gonna go over to Squack's. We can play dice in his basement. He's got a keg going down there. We'll just go over there and drink till everybody's done playing cards, and we'll see what we can do. Because this was at this time we would go out once or twice a month where we'd stay out all night and play cards, go down to the boat, and come go eat at Denny's at 5 in the morning, and then go get ready for work. It was, whew, those were the days. So we roll into Squack's house. We go downstairs. We're playing. Disco's there. Disco Dan Hinton's there. So we get downstairs, and it's me and Philly and Squack and Disco. So we start playing Close the Box, this dice game Squack always had. We're drinking, having fun. We're there for an hour. Philly's acting kind of the fool, but he's not being too crazy. Well, about that time, the door upstairs. I don't know if you guys have seen one of my favorite shows of all times, where Prince Ali comes in with his elephant and smashes through the door, and Prince Ali, fabulous he, Ali Ababa, bum 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 bum. So I mean, that scene, when that happens, this is what happens to Bill Kane. Bill Kane comes smashing into Squack's house like a fucking herd of elephants, smashes the door open, somehow almost falls down the steps, comes down, he's like, those cheating sons of bitches, they took me for all my money, I'll fucking kill them all. We're like, what the fuck are you doing? Before you can say another word, Filbert is off the bar stool, bellied up, face to face with Biscuit Lips. They're hooting and hollering, and 5 seconds later, they are throwing punches. They start beating the shit out of each other. And we were in the three of us, me, Squack, and Disco. I can't remember who came in with Biscuit. Maybe it was Russell, and we just were like, we just let them fight it out. I'm not kidding. We weren't gonna fuck with them. They beat the shit out of each other. I bet they hit each other. They both probably landed 4 or 5 good punches, for Christ's sake. It was a pretty good fight. Then they were down on the ground, and then they were so tired they couldn't fight anymore. Then they got up and started yelling at each other again. Well, then they came over and started playing Close the Box. And Kane started saying that, he was cheated, at the poker game, and it was bullshit, and they cheated him. And Filbert and him start fighting again, and they stand up, they square up, boom, they're punching, beat the shit out of each other again, and we just are laughing, carrying on. And it's kind of getting old, Philly wanting to fight everybody about everything that night. Well, then Philly starts talking about this co-ed softball team he plays on, and talking about how he's the best player on the fucking team. I mean, and how this girl was telling him how he was the fastest. She'd never seen anybody as fast as him. What? It was like, come on. I looked at Disco and I was like, I have listened to his shit all fucking night. I quit playing poker to drag him out of there because he was starting fights. Now he's come over here starting fights. I've put up with all of it. I love him. He's one of my best. But now he's claiming that he's some kind of crazy great athlete. I was like, that's it. I've had it. So I turned. I was like, Philly, I've had it with your shit. You aren't fucking fast. Nobody believes you're fast, and no girl or anybody else said you're the fastest person they ever seen. Oh boy, you want to talk about setting old Philly Gumbo off. He went crazy. He challenged me to a foot race at 3 a.m. over off Walnut. So, believe it or not, I'm sure you believe it, because why wouldn't we? We go out at 3 a.m. with a bunch of us. By that time, some other people had rolled in. We'd been drinking more. We go out. It's Roosevelt, or there's a couple streets that run perpendicular to Walnut that, border both sides of Squack's house. So the one further west of Squack's house, we go over there, and we get down, and, somebody's down at the other end. It's like a 40-yard dash. We put $20 a piece on it. And I think Disco was holding the money. And so we get ready to run. And I mean, Philly is down in a sprinter stance, and I'm laughing. Philly's never beat me in a race in his life. And I just, total hubris on my part. I completely was overconfident. I looked over, and they said go, and instantly I knew I was beat. I was like, oh my fucking God, he's going to beat me. Because he was off. I mean, he was off like a sprinter. He was in a stance. I was standing up, lipping off like a jackass. And I take off at a full sprint, and I almost catch him at the end. He leans, he gets me, he beat me. No, it wasn't, he beat me. I was I'm totally embarrassed. I was like, you've got to be kidding me. I let Philly beat me for money. So he, of course, is just lording it up. He's, in my face about it. We're loving it. So we go back. I was like, you got to give me another chance. I was like, I didn't take you seriously. He's like, no, if I can. I was like, double or nothing. If you beat me again, you get $40. If not, we're even. So we have a few more drinks, this, that, and the other, and whatnot. And I think we might even played some more dice. And I guess about 4:30 in the morning, we decided to go back out again. Well, this time we went to the road on the east side of Squac's house, and this time it was an Olympic event, man. There was 2 starters, and I was, oh boy, I mean, I was ready to go. I mean, it was very serious shit. And Disco is down at the other end. He stepped it off, and him and Squac were down at the other end, and so, on your mark, get set, go. And it's, oh, I'm off, and I mean, I take 3-4 steps, and I hear, boom, 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 oh, fuck, boom, 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 boom. And I just run it out. I've been flying, and I stick my chest out at the end, and I look back, and Philly's nowhere to be seen. And he's way back on the ground, just right past where we started. And he's laying on the ground screaming and yelling, all pissed off. He's like, I got him on the lean. I got him on the lean. I mean, he's claiming he's won the race. And Disco's like, no, Philly, you didn't even finish the race. And he's like, you motherfuckers are trying to rob me. I beat him on the lean. And Disco hands me the money. Philly starts going crazy. He tries to get up off the ground. He collapses on the ground screaming and yelling. He had slipped on some leaves. Compound horrible fracture. His bone was sticking way out of his arm and his forearm. He was all kinds of gravel in his skin. He couldn't have cared less about this bone sticking out of his body. He tried to start a fight with me and Disco, saying that he had won the race, that he had fallen down and broken his arm and taken no more than 2 or 3 steps in a 40-yard race. That's how, it was 4:30 in the morning. We'd been drinking on it. So here, it even gets better. So Corey his wife had been very pissed off at him lately. Yeah, I mean, my wife's been pissed off at me a lot too. I mean, we do things to piss our wives off. I mean, listen to the stories. And so Philly, for him to go to the emergency room, I think the copay for his insurance was $500. And Corey was like, fuck you. We're not paying $500 because your dumbass was out racing Shaw at 4:30 in the fucking morning and you broke your arm. So you can suck it up, Buttercup, and you can go to your own doctor in the fucking morning. Wow, she put the hammer down. We were so proud of Corey that night. He was so pissed. But, he just went to the regular doctor, and he didn't go to the ER. She would not let him. That is one of my favorite stories. I hope you all enjoyed it as much as I do. I mean, that's a great one. That's another wrap on the shit show. And you all know Sergeant Cash and Sergeant Peralta must receive the Medal of Honor. Have a good day.